Well, hello there YouTube, this is SJK992, and I've got a dual replay here of me versus someone called Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelnet. Don't know if he's infamous on anything or something like that, but anyway, he challenged me to a game against his Yata Garasu lot, because I said that I wasn't playing properly around the time that it was quite popular. So, you know, I gave him a game, and I decided to be a troll as well, and use my macro build, which this is a version 2 build which runs 2 more soul absorptions, it runs a 3 Helios and various other burn and mill aspects to it. So I'm going to do a turn by turn playthrough. So I started the duel, so I've got Morphing Jar, DD Dynamite, Dimensional Fissure, Grand Magie Deezer, Chaos Zone and DD Survivor. Now typically if the D Fissure was a macro, and say the DD Survivor was like a soul absorption, this would probably be one of my most favourite hands ever. But anyway, so progress onwards, and I play D Fissure, play the Chaos Zone, set the DD Dynamite and set the Morphing Jar. So then my opponent's turn. He draws into Magician of Faith. Now, as I said, this is a Yata Garasu lock-based deck, so this is under the traditional format aspects, but still, I think he put it under TCG for the sake of, you know, keeping it sort of respectable. It's also quite funny because he made the quote, "We're still going to be friends after this, right?" It's like, I might have to ask you the same thing afterwards. But anyway, so what he does is he sets Cyber Jar and creature swap, so he takes control of my Morphing Jar, and I get his Cyber Jar, which is right here. So he then sets Premature Burial and ends his turn. So it comes to my turn, and I draw the gold. I practically draw the dog's bollocks. This is Gold Sarcophagus. So with this, I get to banish any card in my deck and get it back into standby's turn. So I straight away play it and banish a card that's kind of like close to my sentiments here, which is Macrooooface. Well, no one gives a crap about this, but me, Danny, and a few other people, we were part of a team that's long been disbanded, called Team Goldsark, of which it was named purely because I just couldn't get enough of this move, and I was playing it most of the time back then. Got a bit more variety on me now, obviously, but still. So Chaos Zone gains 1 counter, then Macrooooface began to vanish, so I lose a Soul Absorption, a Helios, a Starlight Road, another Chaos Zone, and a Macrocosmos. My opponent loses Heavy Storm, and a Monster Reborn. Those 2 at the start of this is very bad for him, regardless of whatever else happens. He then loses Breaker, Witch of the Black Forest, and Don Delude. So, 4 more Chaos counters go on to Chaos Zone, and then I flip up the Cyber Jar. So, both Cyber Jar and Morphing Jar go, so that's another 2 counters on Chaos Zone. So there's the searches there. So, I get a set DD Scoutblade. His search is going up the top there. And the irony is, he sets a Morphing Jar. Don't know if it's like ultimate irony, but it's still irony nonetheless. So I get a D Fissure, Soul Absorption, and a Bottomless, and an MST to hand. He gets Pot of Greed, Dark Hole, Ghost Charity, and Snatch Deal. So our MST is set, which is the Premature Burial. I play Soul Absorption, set Bottomless, and summon Grand Magie Deezer, who currently has 2800 attack points. Now, knowing he has a Morphing Jar, and knowing I could try and clear his hand, not knowing what was there at the time, pushing through because I can gain life points through Soul Absorption for any monsters that would seep through. So we hit the Morphing Jar. So I lose D Survivor and D Fissure. He loses his Charity, his Snatch Deal, BLS, and Dark Hole. Chaos Zone is now on 11 counters, and he draws Shining Angel, Yata Garasu, Delinquent Duo, Sangen, and Jinzo. I get Soul Absorption, Dimensional Fissure, DD Dynamite, Macrocosmos, and Chaos Zone. So, Soul Absorption goes off, I gain 2000 life points. So that puts the Chaos Zone now onto 12 counters. And another 500 life points. come to my phase 2, I decide to activate DD Dynamite to clear some space to play another so I can set the macro as well. So he takes a good 3k's worth of damage, so I set the 2, pass turn. So on his turn, during his standby phase, or draw phase as it was specified here, I get Macrocosmos, special summoning from the deck, comes in very handy in a moment or two. So, all he does, he plays Delinquent Duo, which is a bad idea, considering that, you know, I've got Macro on the field, I have Soul Absorption on the field, and Mad Judah Izzard's going to gain 800 from this, putting him on 4k, which is enough to take him out regardless of anything else. So, I gain 3 lots of 500, and he sets Shining Angel, which at this point is also very pointless because Battle Searchers need to hit the graveyard, and this is going to get banished. So, next thing is, I draw D Survivor, got 1 turn on Necroface, but I decided to try go all out for the sake of going all out. Since my DD Dynamite's now live, it would only do 3/3 damage at the moment. Not knowing what the set is, I could have attacked into anything. So I decide I'm going to use Chaos Zone and remove 4 of its counters to bring back Necroface. Then I overlay Necroface with Helios for Utopia. Now the fun part kicks in. Since Macro's on the field, when I detach the material for Utopia's effect, it gets banished. So Necroface is the prime target for this. The attack's negated, Necroface banishes top 5 again. Soul Absorption also kicks in, so I gain 500, and then I lose MST, DD Warrior Lady, Return from the Different Dimension, Mirror Force, and Gold Sarcophagus. He loses Vampire Lord, Harvey's Feather Duster, Demock, Chaos Emperor Dragon, Creature Swap. So this goes back up to the deck, regains the 4 counters it lost. Soul Absorption kicks in, giving me an extra 5k's worth of life points, and then I chain the DD Dynamite and put the guy out of his misery for 4 damage. So there you go. I mean, granted, you could say I had an advantage at the start for knowing I was going to play Yata Lock, so I could have tried to use something along the lines of Macro just to be annoying, or Chain Burn to be even more annoying. Although I've not run Chain Burn for a while. I didn't even run it competitively, it was just a piss-take male burn variant. But, yeah. So, I already understood that the Yata Lock was pretty deadly when it sets itself off, but the openings I had and everything else just accumulated to me just going, I don't really care. But anyway, this is SJK992. I'll have a Spelunky daily challenge video up later on today, possibly a few other bits and pieces. So yeah, I'll leave you guys to enjoy your days, nights, and wherever you're doing at whatever time it is, wherever you're watching this. See you in a bit.